and university centers in Burkina Faso. The presidential ACE ministries, but their purpose is to support the ministries in order to be more dynamic and achieve more for the benefit of the various sectors. The IPQ is also committed to providing Burkinabe children with a quality benefit of the various sectors. IPQ is also committed to providing Burkinabe children with a quality education that fosters individual and collective progress through a consensual approach based on a good coordination of knowledge and vocational training. The IPQ is also building level buildings that bring together several levels of education in order to facilitate civic and patriotic education. The initiative has changed the perspective of amphitheater construction. There will no longer be isolated amphitheaters, but the amphitheater in the IPEC's vision is an amphitheater in the form of a complex. A flagship action of the IPQ is the acquisition of 500 buses, made available to STRACO to facilitate and secure the movement of students to learning centers. The cities that host universities already have buses. These buses are managed in partnership with a STRACO to allow efficient use and therefore allow easy mobility of students from different neighborhoods of the different cities to reach universities and university centers. The actions already taken by the IPQ amply justify the accuracy of the vision of the President of Faso and augur better tomorrows for a new school serving training and socio-economic development in Burkina Faso. In addition to the benefits it brings to the health of those who practice it, sport is a powerful lever for our country's influence in the world. With this conviction in mind, the President of Burkina Faso, Head of State, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, implemented the presidential initiative for the emergence of elite sports talent. To achieve this initiative aims to contribute to creating favorable conditions for the emergence of new talent and the promotion of elite sports talent in Burkina Faso. The presidential initiative for new talent is a key measure taken by the President, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. This initiative responds to the structural challenges facing Burkinabe sport, characterized by obsolete infrastructure, a growing need for young people in sports, and the need to strengthen sport as a soft power internationally. It is also a clear political will to lay the foundations for the sustainable development of sport through structural investments. In concrete terms, this involves building modern and accessible infrastructure throughout the country, training programs, and increased support for emerging athletes and the elite. It is also a call to action, to mobilize all stakeholders, the state, local authorities, federations, and international private partners to work together to build and deliver infrastructure on time. Things will move quickly. In May 2025, the Minister of Sports, Youth, and Employment, Roland Samda, launched construction work on 13 modern sports academies in Kaya in the Kole region. Ultimately, modern sports academies are expected to be built in all regions of the country, as well as 12 sports training centers in 12 provinces. An Olympic stadium with 20 to 25,000 seats in Waiguya, 2 Olympic stadiums with 15,000 seats in Popo and Kodugu, 4 Olympic stadiums with 10,000 seats in Waigaya, Fadorma, Tedagao and Gawa. The implementation of this initiative will improve the infrastructure and strengthen training in national and international competitions. And in terms of economic benefits, we can mention job creation, the attractiveness of sport and private investment. Also in May 2025, construction work began on the Igma Stadium in Bobo Dioulasso. A few months after the start of work, the construction of this modern 15,000-seat stadium is progressing rapidly. This stadium, which meets international standards, brings to 2 the number of approved stadiums in our country. The construction of the Bobo Diosso Stadium is progressing very well, and this constitutes another key milestone after that of August 4th. Clear objectives have been set out for the construction of this infrastructure. The aim is to increase the infrastructure available, expand the network of approved infrastructure, and make sports accessible to all Burkinabe citizens. Ultimately, this should lead to more competitions at home, better visibility for our sport, and greater capacity to host regional and international sports events. The presidential initiative for the next generation of elite athletes is underway. Athletes will need to prepare to turn the infrastructure currently being built into temples of talent that will fly the flag for the Beneb in various competitions around the world. The presidential initiative for the next generation of athletes is structuring and modernizing the sports ecosystem with well-adapted infrastructure and training frameworks. In terms of impact, this will lead to better preparation for the next generation of athletes and the organization of national and international championships on site and in ideal conditions. All of this contributes to the international reputation of Burkina Faso. Finally, this initiative promotes the implementation of the Sports Development and Peace Agenda, which benefits sports stakeholders and the entire nation. 6th Presidential Initiative, Faso Merbo. Faso Merbo embodies the renewal of Burkina Faso in the area of road construction and landscaping of the country's major cities. Adopted in October 2024 by the Council of Ministers, the presidential initiative against the MBO is structured around 2 components. The first concerns the construction of road infrastructure by road brigades. The second refers to urban planning and beautification. The presidential initiative against the Mao, like the other initiatives, is an initiative that Comrade, His Excellency Captain Ibrahim Traoré, kindly agreed to set up in order to, initially, at the level of the first component, boost the decongestion of cities and the countryside through the establishment of road construction brigades. So in the vision of Comrade, each region of Burkina Faso will have a road construction brigade. So in its second component, our mission is also to beautify and develop urban centers, create green spaces and sanitation, and especially build housing. Driven by popular and civic engagement. The second component, in the MBO way, is today the image of the people determined to fully participate in the development of their country from Ouagadougou to Kudu, Pobo Lasso, Tinkodogo, Fadangorma, Kaya. The Burkinabe have mobilized like never before through various donations in cash and in kind, cement, granite and other construction materials, or through participation in the manufacture and laying of paving stones in the various cities to demonstrate their support and adherence to the vision of the head of state. Through Component 2, we were able to mobilize the population, the brave Burkinabe people, through a cause. So people have learned that we do not need to wait for someone to come and develop or impact their living environment. So, in terms of what is really very visible, there is the manufacturing and laying of paving stones. There is also tree planting, and you will see that the Philippe Zenda Kabore High School, which is our main production center, is overflowing with people every day. We initially received donations from this brave population. At the beginning, we were willing, according to our comrades' vision, to limit donations to in-kind donations. For a long time, you saw all sorts of donations. So, we even had the paper mill, who pedaled from his pony bike with a bag of cement and came to donate. So, we received all sorts of donations there. So, we understood that this population felt integrated into this project, and they are, and it continues to grow. We are still inviting our brave population to continue. You have seen that we also wanted this mobilization to spread to other regions as well. For example, in Nando, they also started manufacturing and pavement. This is also the case in Nakambe. There is the Tanuyo which will be set up very soon. There is also the Quillet which is also being prepared. And so on. I think that everywhere in Burkina Faso, well, everyone will know that through internal mobilization, we can have an impact, we can change our living environment. For the implementation of Component 1 of Faso MBO, the President of Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, has twice handed over large quantities of machinery for road construction. This unprecedented effort in terms of equipment has been supported by the recruitment of quality personnel to carry out Faso Merbo's missions. In Burkina Faso, such an acquisition by the state of such a significant lousy heritage. Here is this armada, as His Excellency had emphasized from the very first time. He said that this is only 1/5 of what was to come, and you have seen the second, fifth that has arrived, and there is still other equipment that is on the way that will come. So the vision is to equip all the regions with a road construction brigade in order to really have a very significant impact on the road network in Burkina Faso. It is said that the road to development passes through the development of the road. So already, the comrade is really in this dynamic, and you know it has been quite consistent since the arrival of this visionary. Well, we realize that nothing is impossible. We are in a progressive popular revolution, and you see that with the least possible help from the endogenous way. Well, according to the enlightened vision of the comrade, you have seen acquisitions that are quite enormous, and it is not over. We were amazed. We are aware of the challenge, and the big boss has done his part. Now it's up to us to implement it on the ground.
Faso MBO was a real springboard for launching an innovative concept during school holidays for thousands of students in Burkina Faso. The Faso MBO camp was an environment for teaching patriotic values, discipline, civic-mindedness, and respect for the nation's symbols. The case of holidays, in relation to the MB, it must be said, is also good, as is, of course, the creation of this initiative. It is also an ingenious idea, that's it, from Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traoré, who initially agreed, because we first did a pilot phase, that's it. Because, even today, to have an impact, we have to have an impact on our children have to learn to be proud of being Burkinabe. Our children need to know that there were predecessors, ancestors who fought for this country to exist. We need to instill Burkinabe values, Burkimbe values, in our children. So, through this camp, we have done the maximum possible to instill these Burkindi values in our children. They learned the national anthem, in the national language. I will use the language in Moray, for example, in Ouagadougou, in Jula, in Bamana, in Guirico, and when we resume in the other regions in the years to come, I think other languages will also be taken into account. They learned the national anthem. The children learned to eat together. There are some children who did not know that they could eat together from the same plate. They learned to eat together. The children learned to love each other, to tolerate each other, to accept differences, and above all to know that with our hands, we can build and construct. They learned to make paving stones, they learned to plant trees, they learned many other skills, and today we are seeing the fruits of their labor, and we have received feedback from many parents. So it is all to our credit.
At the Ministry of Infrastructure and Accessibility, we welcome the presidential initiative with the MERB. The different teams are working in harmony to achieve common goals. With the MOVO, we will do better by organizing ourselves because today, there are villages that are very difficult to access during the season. There are roads that are in a very poor state of disrepair, where the road surface has been lost. When we have brigades in all the regions, we will be able to intervene to restore these roads to normal. We will work hand in hand to ensure the success of this mission that the head of state has entrusted to us. Today, in addition to the initiative's headquarters in Ouagadougou and Bobo Dioulasso, 4 brigades will be set up in 4 regional chiefdoms, namely Wigaya, Fadangorma, Kaya and Dadougou, and construction projects are already underway. Today, the presidential initiative against the MBO has set the entire country on the road. The country must be opened up to facilitate the movement of combat forces, the flow of products, and the movement of people and goods in complete safety. The vision of His Excellency Captain Ibrahim Traoré, President of the FAC Head of State. The presidential initiatives have proven to be pragmatic in the conduct of major projects in important areas of the nation's life. In less than 3 years, the various presidential initiatives, through their results, have strengthened the resilience and intrinsic capacity of the Burkinabés to be key players in the development of our nation. The Binafas. Hello.